Hello everyone, my name is Kitetsu and welcome back to my channel. First things first, thank you so much Games Workshop for sending this out to me. It feels unreal to have this in my hands and it's a whole 2 weeks early. But yeah, this set is absolutely amazing and it just feels really cool to be able to crack it open on my channel, give you my thoughts and impressions of opening the box. It's just nice to dig into it and see what we get, and it just feels amazing that I've got it. There are so many questions I had about this box, there are so many questions I had about the new edition, and yeah, basically a lot of that has now been answered because I've got the new General's Handbook, I've got the Malign Sorcery Box, and obviously I'm going to talk more about all of this stuff in coming videos. I want to build some of these models so I can actually show them to you guys. I want to run through the storyline of what this whole setup is. I want to crack open the Malign Sorcery box at some point as well. Yeah, this box is actually pretty damn heavy, and yeah, that's not probably very surprising considering the 320 page book in it and then the 54 models I believe there are. It says 52 on the box, but you get 2 crew members for the ballista, so there's actually quite a lot. But yeah, obviously getting on to what it says on the back of the box here, there's a narrative behind this starter set, which I really like. In the first starter set, we had a narrative there. It was Vander's Hammerhand against Korgus Cole, and now we've got Knossos Heaven Sends, I believe that's called, and Melendrek, the Knight of Shrouds. So we've got a whole host of new characters, and there's some more of them here. Zerafina and Vereknos, I believe that is. Why do they always have to make the names so difficult to pronounce? But yeah, we've got a narrative. It's exciting. There's a storyline. There's a little booklet that comes in here that explains the setup of this battle. And yeah, this is a whole host of models in here. And obviously a lot of you guys know by now what is in it, but everything is entirely new. The Knight of Shrouds, I've said 100 times, is one of my favourite figures, but just everything from the Nighthaunts looks incredible. Speaking of Nighthaunts as well, I was flicking through the General's Handbook, and there are so many like little tidbits and secrets in there that I now know answers to that you guys don't. I know who the Mortarch of Grief is. I know so much and I can't wait to talk more about it. But yeah, you pull the sleeve off and the first thing you see is that beautiful piece of artwork. I know we've seen it before, but this is the highest quality print I've seen of it. And just look at that. It looks so cool. And you've got to give them credit for the attention to detail that's gone into the packaging. They've really thought it through. And I know most people say the packaging doesn't matter, but to me, it does really influence how I feel about something when I open the box and it looks amazing. This little booklet here is what you get underneath the core book. You get the war scrolls in there and I'll chop that open in a minute. But let's take a quick look at the core book itself. Look at that beautiful piece of artwork. Look at how thick it is. To be honest, this is my favourite thing in the entire box. I'm so glad that they made this. I'm so glad that they've put so much time and effort into this book. But yeah, let's have a little flick through it and see what is inside. I mean, that's the art from the box work, and look at that. Even the first page looks amazing. It looks like we've got Archaon and Sigmar. And I'm always calling these the two halves of the same coin, so it's nice that they've put that together in that piece of artwork, but I just feel like this is a real treat for Age of Sigmar fans. It's the ultimate hobby guide, it tells you how to play, it tells you the entire storyline so far, and ooh, look what we've got here. This is the first proper official detailed piece of artwork that we've had of Dracothian, the Great Star Drake, so that's a nice touch. In fact, the whole book is full of all the classic, iconic pictures of Age of Sigmar, but there's a whole host of new ones. That one of Slaanesh is brand new, that one there we haven't seen either. And yeah, it runs through the whole history, the Battle of the Burning Skies, the Age of Chaos, why Nagash has got such a problem with Sigmar. Here we've got a map of the realms. It's absolutely amazing. It's the proper backstory that the game has needed for so long. And it just feels a bit crazy that they've included this in with the box. I guess they took a leaf out of the 40k book and decided to put a massive tome of knowledge and artwork, and look at all these pictures of the models. We've got some of the new ones here as well. But yeah, I guess I wasn't expecting it. I think the Dark Imperium box set was like a gold standard for Games Workshop. I think this has easily reached that height as well. We've also got the core rules here, which is nice that it's in the box, and I think we get those separately in a little leaflet as well. But obviously it looks like those rules have expanded quite a bit since the 4 pages, but I don't think they're going to be too complex. So, you know, they're keeping it accessible, and like I said, that book is amazing. I can't wait to dig more into it, and I'll probably do a separate review of it too. Then we've got this little leaflet here, and this one is all about setting the scene for the first conflict in the Realm of Death. So we get the backstory of what Nagash is up to, we hear about this city of Glimsforge, and to be honest, I've had a quick little read through it, and it sounds like it's a pretty exciting campaign. And finally, we actually know what Nagash is up to. This was quite interesting, I thought, because it kind of tells you a little bit about the different units in the box, but they didn't give you the war scroll, so it felt a little bit more like an almost mini battle tome. But obviously here we get a look at some of these new characters. It's a shame we don't have specific war scrolls for these as an actual character, but they tend to do that when they bring a starter set out. But there we go, look at how amazing this guy looks. It's very cool though that they're adding all of these characters, because to me, characters add so much to the storyline. In fact, just on that page, we've got 4 new characters for the Nighthaunts, and I was actually reading a bit about Melendrek, and he has such a cool backstory. Like, it's one of the coolest, I think. Obviously, where the Knight of Shrouds tend to be generals or heroes that have betrayed the faction that they belong to, he has a classic story of betrayal, and it's very fitting of his character. But yeah, lots of detail on all of these units, and like I said, it feels a bit like an extract from some battle tomes. I don't know if they're actually going to include these in the respective battle tomes. Just a word of caution on the points in the back of this book. They are actually different to what you will see in the General's Handbook. So I don't think it matters too much me showing them here, because like I said, the definitive actual ones are going to be in the General's Handbook. They're going to be the ones to properly pay attention to. But yeah, here we go. That's just the core rules, which are available separately. And I think they might be exactly the same as in the core book. Not entirely sure there, don't quote me on it, but like I recognise those pictures there. And yeah, how many pages do we actually have? About 18 pages or so. So it's quite substantially expanded on those 4 pages. But like I said, it's not going to overwhelm the game. It's not going to put newcomers off. In fact, what I think those new rules do really is make it more clear-cut what certain situations are and how to respond to them and what they mean. It's actually quite similar to the first edition in terms of the rules, but it's just a bit tighter. Yeah, that little booklet doesn't really add too much to it. Then we've got the build instructions, of course. I was opening my Start Collecting Orc set recently, and the instructions were so minimalistic that it makes me relieved that we've gone back to a set like this where I can build something a bit more easily, and it's all color coded. It's the detail that's become the standard for Games Workshop, so I'm glad they've definitely gone that extra mile with this box set too. But yeah, I guess everything's going to be push fit, so you know, it should all be very easy to put together. Then what do we have underneath the tray? Oh, actually, I want to talk about the War Scrolls first. There were 2 little bundles of them. We've got the Stormcast ones and the, obviously, Nighthaunt ones. Let's start with the more exciting ones, shall we? Now, some of these I haven't actually seen, but obviously we've seen most of these. In fact, here we go. Grimghast Reapers, I have not seen the War Scrolls of those before. And I haven't seen the Knight of Shrouds either, but let's take a quick look at these. Looks like they're fairly decent with a 4+ save, and they've got some rend on their attacks, so that's pretty nice. This guy we've seen, it's nice they've got pictures on here, and this guy, looking at his command ability, I think that was pretty exciting because he can add, I think it's 1 to the attacks of a unit nearby or something like that. I only got a quick glance at it, but it does look very, very cool. Obviously, I will do a more detailed video on everything in here at some point, so, you know, stick around for that. Then we get onto the Stormcast ones, and I think we've seen most of these before, but it's pretty much the same affair. The Castor Gaiters I hadn't seen, and I'm quite intrigued to look at these ones, but hitting and wounding on 3s with a -1 rend, but only 1 shot. So not as good as I thought they might be, but maybe there's going to be some other special rules on there that I haven't looked at properly yet. Okay, let's take a look underneath the tray. We've got some bases. This one's obviously going to be for the Celestar Ballista with those 3 holes in it. Have we got any more here? Yes, in fact, this is interesting. That one's got a slot in it, which is quite unusual. I wasn't expecting that. We've got a measuring stick, which is nice, and I'm surprised there isn't another one in here. I'm wondering if there's meant to be 2, and that one kind of got misplaced, but whatever. Don't really need one of those with all the tape measures I have anyway. A little next steps, and yeah, the Realm of Battle is actually a really cool box, so that's cool. And I'm definitely going to be picking up some of these easy to build kits because they look very useful. And based on the General's Handbook, I'm going to need to pick some of them up to sort some of those unit sizes out. The little preview of the Soul Wars book, which I'm super excited about. I wanted to actually talk about this one separately because I've read this first chapter already. It was in White Dwarf. And yeah, basically the author is absolutely amazing, so I don't doubt this will be brilliant. I think this is the exact same thing we had in the White Dwarf. Yeah, it definitely is. It's coming soon. Does it have a date? No, there's no date on it yet, but yeah, basically that's all the stuff in there apart from these dice. I'm a big fan of these dice actually. They look a lot cooler than any of the ones we've had in a starter set so far. Especially that kind of ghost-like finish. I'm trying to get the light to show how cool they look. There we go. Look at how good they look. The ones we've had in the past have basically just been those boring white ones with the black dots. And you know, if they put a symbol on these of some sort, they're not far off being sold by Games Workshop for a premium price. So they do look cool, and they will look especially good for the Nighthaunt players using those. But yeah, that's basically everything we get in the box apart from the actual figures. And I thought we could finish the video off by just having a really quick look at some of the sprues in here. Is this one of the coolest Warhammer sets I've ever seen? Absolutely. I can't believe the quality of it. I can't believe the number of models, the books, the presentation. Oh, throw those over the place. Okay, whatever. The presentation, the attention to detail. There's actually some packaging in there, which is nice for Games Workshop to consider, you know, the protection of the models. And to be honest, there is a lot of fragile stuff in here. I think a few people are probably going to end up breaking some of these models. But yeah, they do look absolutely stunning. We've already seen that sprue already. But then we've got another Nighthaunt one here, which, again, the detail's amazing. I'm not looking forward to clipping some of these out because of how thin they are. But I guess if anything breaks, it's nothing a little bit of plastic glue can't fix, so not too much of an issue. Then we've got the Glaive Wraith Stalkers on here and the Grimghast Reapers looking absolutely awesome. They're definitely 2 of my favourite units from the Nighthaunt army, so that's very cool. Then let's take a look at what we've got left. This is actually another one of the Nighthaunt ones, but in fact it looks pretty similar to the other one we had for the Chain Rasp Horde, and yeah, nothing too new to see there. But that's interesting that they have gone for a lot of slotted bases on some of these models. It's a little bit annoying, to be honest, because then you've got to fill them in, but I guess I'll go and buy some green stuff or something, but maybe some people are not too bothered about it. There's some of our Sequitors. Looking pretty cool. Look at the detail on these shields. They just look absolutely stunning. And the quality of this as a starter set is just through the roof. Let's see if we can find a better view of the Prime. Is that her? That certainly looks like a female Stormcast figure there. But yeah, pretty cool. Down to the last few. We've got the Lord-Arcanum here on his Griff Charger. And it looks like we've got some Evocators on there as well. But again, just look at the detail. It's absolutely stunning. I don't quite know how they've managed to get this level of detail on these figures. When I was younger and I collected Warhammer, it looked nothing like this. That is stunning. And there we go, we've got our Evocator down there as well, holding his sword. I like the fact the sword looks quite sturdy, and look at the detail on that foot as well. It's absolutely amazing. These are the Castor Gaiters, and we've got a few more of the Secretors on there as well. Right, and then we get to the last sprue, and unfortunately this is where my camera dies. So what I'm going to say is thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new, and obviously, yeah, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys really soon.